a fury of anger was building. How long can we continue to allow nuclear weapon states to keep us hostage and threaten us? For potential annihilation.
The doomsday clock of the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists is at 2 minutes to midnight, reflecting the tension of a world filled with atomic powers.
Around the world today, we see self-centered nationalism in ascendance.
Another nuclear arms race is beginning.
I welcome you to the 74th commemoration of the atomic bombings of Hiroshima Nagasaki. Rise up, treaties, not bombs.
Nuclear war's a one-way path to fiery hell and hideous wrath. It's time to get the treaty into law.
We pledge to make every effort to bring about everlasting peace and the realization of a world free of nuclear weapons.
The U.S. plans to spend $1 trillion modernizing its arsenal to last for decades more. Deterrence signals doom forever.
With nuclear disarmament at a standstill.
In spite of the survivors' plea and prayers and advocacy around the world for the total elimination of nuclear weapons in their lifetime.
In 2017, at the negotiations for the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, 35 indigenous groups delivered a statement. Governments and colonial forces exploded nuclear bombs on our sacred lands, upon which we depend for our lives and livelihoods, and which contain places of critical cultural and spiritual significance. Today, many of these communities continue their resistance against nuclear colonialism by fighting off nuclear waste disposal sites and uranium mines.
Continuous efforts made by countries and individuals, most prominently the atomic bombing survivors, bore fruit when the United Nations adopted the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons.
122 countries voted for the adoption of the treaty. This treaty outlaws nuclear weapons, making them illegal under international law, and like Setsuko said,
we have now reached half of the 50 nations. The number needed for it to enter into force.
25 more to go.
Toronto City Council has unanimously called upon the Canadian government to support the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons.
Along with the nearly 7,800 member cities of Mayors for Peace.
Remembering the devastating atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, we recall the message on the cenotaph in the Peace Park in Hiroshima. Let all the souls here rest in peace, for we shall not repeat the evil.
Please demand that the governments and parliaments in your countries sign and ratify the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons.
Never again, but there needs to be power and rising up every time we say that.
If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So let's see how we can all work together and make it happen.
We have more work to do.
Last night I had the strangest dream I never dreamed before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to put an end to war.
Today, with people around the world, we commit ourselves to urge states, parliamentarians, and civil society in efforts to stigmatize, prohibit, and eliminate nuclear weapons for the sake of humanity and to prevent unthinkable horror before it is too late.
Last night